A really significant move in the AI world. OpenAI buying I/O. That's the hardware startup from Jony Ive, the design legend from Apple.
Yeah, it feels like a big step, doesn't it? AI trying to move beyond just software.
Exactly. More than just code. Some people are talking about physical AI, even brain control down the line. Wild stuff.
Whoa, okay. Let's maybe unpack that later.
Definitely. So our mission for this deep dive, figure out the strategy here, the vision, and importantly, what it means for you. We've got the news reports, analyst takes. Let's dig in.
Right. So OpenAI, primarily a software powerhouse, jumping headfirst into hardware. It's a fascinating pivot.
It really is. And the scale.
Yeah.
Wow. They bought I/O around May 21st, maybe 22nd, 2025.
And the price tag was reportedly around $6.5 billion.
Yep, roughly $6.5 billion. All equity, too, which says a lot about their commitment.
That dwarfs their previous big buy, right? Windsurf.
By a long shot. Windsurf was $3 billion. It's a statement. And it's not just about owning another company. It feels like a real strategic shift.
Mm-hmm. Trying to control the whole stack. From the AI models themselves.
Right down to the user interface, the device in your hand, maybe even the chips inside.
It has echoes of Apple's vertical integration, doesn't it?
It does. That potential for optimization, a smoother experience when you control both hardware and software.
And it cuts down reliance on other hardware makers, gives them a potential edge.
Makes sense. And getting Jony Ive to lead the design effort.
Huge name. iPhone, iMac, iPod, Apple Park even. His design DNA is everywhere.
Right. He co-founded Love from After Apple, then I/O with some other ex-Apple heavy hitters.
Scott Cannon, Tang Tan, Evans Hankey. Serious experience there.
And Sam Altman himself called Ive the greatest designer in the world. High praise.
So Ive's role now. Reports say deep creative and design responsibilities across both I/O and OpenAI.
And his team, about 55 people, they're merging into OpenAI in San Francisco.
Which really underlines how crucial design is going to be for this stuff, making AI hardware feel natural, maybe even desirable.
Absolutely. Ive's philosophy materials, the feel of it, the user experience could be key to getting people to, connect with physical AI.
Creating an emotional connection, perhaps?
Could be. Altman's vision seems ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
A family of devices that would let people use AI to create all sorts of wonderful things.
He's also been critical of current tech, hasn't he? Saying phones and laptops aren't really built for AI.
Yeah, he said they're outdated for AI.
Yeah.
And that great tools require work at the intersection of technology, design, and understanding people. Mm-hmm. A holistic view.
Analysts seem to agree on the strategic importance. Chirag Dekakate called it a decisive step to shape the user experience end to end.
Plus, securing that top-tier design talent. And remember, OpenAI already had a stake in I/O.
Oh, right, about 23%. So this wasn't completely out of the blue.
No. And it fits with those rumors about OpenAI developing their own AI chips too, maybe ready by 2026.
To lessen the reliance on NVIDIA, perhaps. Optimize performance specifically for their models.
Exactly. It's all pointing towards a deeply integrated hardware strategy.
Yeah.
Like Google, like Meta in some ways.
This is definitely going to shake things up. More competition, more innovation in this physical AI space.
Okay, so that's the why. Let's talk about the what. This I/O device itself. Altman's quote was pretty dramatic. The coolest piece of technology that the world will have ever seen.
Huh. Maybe a bit of hyperbole there.
Just a tad. But the goal seems clear. A better way to interact with AI beyond our current screens.
And the big design choice. It's screenless.
That's the report. Screenless. Ming-Chi Kuo described it as maybe slightly larger than the AI pin, but very compact, like an iPod Shuffle, or maybe an iPod Nano.
Worn around the neck, like a pendant.
Apparently so. The idea seems to be ambient interaction, always there, but not demanding your visual focus constantly.
Interesting. So how does it work without a screen?
It seems to rely heavily on understanding your environment. Voice interaction, cameras, microphones.
So it's aware of surroundings, your daily life, using sensors.
That's the idea. And you mainly talk to it.
And ChatGPT is the brain, essentially.
Yeah, the reports say the real star
Yeah.
will be ChatGPT itself, constantly getting smarter.
Okay, but constant sensing. Cameras, mics, that immediately raises privacy flags, right?
Huge ones. Data handling, security, user control.
Yeah.
They'll need to be incredibly transparent and careful.
Building trust is going to be absolutely critical. Otherwise, it's a non-starter for many people.
Agreed. Now, it's apparently not meant to replace your phone or laptop.
Oh, okay. So it's an additional device.
Yeah. Described as maybe the third core product you carry.
And it connects to your existing gadgets, your phone, your computer.
Seems likely. Using the ChatGPT app, perhaps, to bridge to the cloud and maybe borrowing their processing power or display sometimes.
Like a hub and spoke model. That could keep the device itself smaller, cheaper, less power hungry. Makes sense.
And the timeline. We might see it late 2026.
With mass production kicking off early 2027, according to reports.
And they're looking to build it outside China. Vietnam mentioned.
Yeah, diversifying the supply chain seems to be a trend.
So thinking about this kind of device, you can't help but think about the humane AI pin.
Ah, yes. The cautionary tale, perhaps.
Maybe. A high-profile attempt that, well, didn't quite make it.
Remind us lapel pin, AI-focused, voice control, that laser projector display.
Right. Got a fair bit of funding, under $350 million, I think. But it kind of flopped. Lots of returns.
And Humane eventually got acquired by HP for, what, $116 million? Much less than they raised.
Yeah. The issues people cited were things like a clunky projector needing its own separate phone plan.
And maybe the AI itself wasn't quite powerful enough, lacked firepower.
That was the critique. So how does IO stack up against that?
Well, first, the backing. OpenAI's $6.5 billion acquisition, that's worlds apart from Humane's funding. That allows for serious R&D.
Good point. Billions for hardware development. And OpenAI's overall valuation is projected to be massive.
Then the AI itself, IO, has ChatGPT at its core, arguably the most advanced, widely used AI out there, and is constantly improving. That's a huge difference.
You really need powerful AI for AI-first hardware to work, don't you?
Absolutely. And the team, Joni Ive and those ex-Apple execs bring decades of experience in shipping premium consumer tech.
Compared to Humane's team, maybe less specific experience in that exact kind of product launch.
Potentially. And the design choices differ too. IO is screenless, avoiding that tricky projector issue.
And it connects to your existing devices instead of needing its own cellular plan like the Pin.
Right. It feels like Humane tried to replace your phone, a really big ask. IO seems to be aiming for augmentation, something less disruptive.
Lower friction, maybe.
Exactly. So while there are surface similarities, the resources, the core AI, the team, the strategy, it seems unlikely IO will share the AI pin's fate. They've hopefully learned from those mistakes.
Okay, let's tackle that other big question floating around, the one a listener specifically asked about. Brain control. Is IO going to read our minds?
Right. Brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs. It's fascinating tech, but let's break it down. Basically, it's about connecting the brain directly to a device, skipping muscles and nerves.
Okay, and there are different types?
Two main kinds. You've got invasive BCIs, think Neuralink, Elon Musk's company. These need surgery to implant electrodes right into the brain.
Sounds intense.
It is, but it offers very high precision. Useful for medical cases, like helping paralyzed people move limbs again or restoring some vision.
But surgery, that's a huge barrier for everyday use.
Right.
And the risks, ethics.
Absolutely. Cost, risk, long-term effects. It's not practical for healthy consumers right now. And yeah, big ethical questions about privacy, autonomy.
So what's the alternative?
Non-invasive BCIs. These use sensors on the outside, usually an EEG headset that reads brainwaves from the scalp.
Like those Muse headbands for meditation or focus.
Exactly like those. Much safer, no surgery. But the signal isn't as clear or detailed.
Lower resolution. Less information.
Yeah, and they can be affected by movement, muscle tension, even electrical noise. They're okay for wellness apps, maybe some basic controls, but not for complex interaction yet.
So big challenges remain for both types.
Definitely. Non-invasive needs to get much better at reading signals reliably in the real world without being clunky. Invasive is just, well, invasive for general use. There's a big gap between current tech and seamless, everyday brain control.
Okay, so connecting this back to IO, launching late 2026, early 2027, brain control seems unlikely.
Highly improbable for the initial product. All the descriptions focus on mics, cameras, voice. There's zero mention of BCI in the reliable reports about IO's features.
Given the state of BCI tech, invasive being too risky, non-invasive being too limited for complex stuff, it just doesn't seem feasible for a mass market device that soon.
Agreed. IO looks like a sophisticated physical AI interface using more conventional sensors, maybe way down the line if BCI tech matures dramatically, but not for this first generation.
So IO is part of the bigger trend, right? AI moving into everything.
Absolutely. This whole wearable AI market is booming. We're seeing huge growth projections, billions of dollars in the US market alone predicted by 2031.
And globally, Hundreds of millions of wearables shipping each year.
Yeah, and it's fueled by AI getting better, allowing real-time analysis on these devices. Smartwatches are recovering, smart earwear is already a massive category, and new form factors like IO are emerging.
It's not just wearables, though, is it? Phones, laptops.
Everywhere, smartphones are becoming real AI hubs. Generative AI features are rolling out. Think AI photo editing, smarter assistants, more on-device processing. Billions of AI-capable phones expected soon.
We're seeing it in laptops, too, with these new Copilot Plus PCs and AI-specific processors. Features like recall, better search, improved webcam quality.
And smart glasses are making another push. AI assistance, navigation, translation, powered by more efficient on-device AI chips. The market's still small but growing fast.
So OpenAI buying AO really throws them right into the heart of this race for, what should we call it, dominating physical AI.
Shaping it, certainly. It makes them a serious hardware contender alongside the existing giants. The competition is definitely heating up.
AI isn't just in the cloud anymore. It's baked into the silicon, into the experience of using these devices.
That's the key shift. It's less about raw AI power somewhere else and more about integrated AI experiences right here, blurring the lines between device categories.
Sam Altman talked about needing a new kind of computing form factor for AI.
Right. And the industry seems to be betting on wearables, smart glasses. Something potentially beyond the smartphone as the next big platform.
And IO is OpenAI's big bet in that race,
Right.
like the early days of smartphones, maybe.
Could be analogous, yeah. The success or failure of devices like IO will teach us a lot about what works, what interaction styles people prefer.
And wearable is clearly expanding beyond watches and earbuds, necklaces, advanced glasses, all aiming for that ambient, always aware interaction.
It's a dynamic market. The ultimate goal seems to be making AI this contextually intelligent companion that's just there.
This physical AI promises amazing convenience, devices that sense the world in real time.
Incredible potential, yes. But, and it's a big but, as AI gets woven deeper into our physical world, those ethical questions become massive.
Data privacy, surveillance potential, how AI shapes our choices.
Exactly. We need to talk about the societal impact, the safeguards, not just the tech itself.
Okay, let's try to summarize this deep dive. OpenAI's IO acquisition signals a major push into physical AI, bringing Jony Ive's design expertise to create, initially, a screenless ChatGPT-powered wearable.
Right. It seems strategically positioned to avoid the pitfalls of things like the Humane AI pin, leveraging OpenAI's resources and leading AI.
And while brain control's a fascinating prospect, it looks very unlikely for IO's first generation, given current BCI limitations.
Instead, this fits into a much broader industry trend. AI integrating deeply into phones, laptops, glasses, wearables, changing how we interact with technology fundamentally.
The race for the next computing platform is on, and OpenAI is now a major hardware player in that race.
Which intensifies those critical conversations around privacy, ethics, and the role of AI in our lives.
So, a final thought for you to chew on. Technology is becoming more physical, moving off the screen and into the world around us. What does that really mean for your daily life, for your future?
How do you feel about OpenAI making hardware? Are you ready for a screenless AI sidekick? And what about that brain control idea, even if it's further out?
Let us know. Join the conversation using #the